Greetings, beautiful people. Hey, today I'll be sharing with you how I overcame the odds and created a career out of art. But before I begin, I'm going to do a call and response. So I'm going to sing to you all, and you all are going to sing back to me. Everybody say cool? Cool. Woke up this morning, poetry on my mind. Words from my soul on these notebook lines. No money for food and no money for gas. All I got is my pen and my pad. And literally all I had was my pen and my pad. See, all I had was tools to construct my art, my poetry. See, I was poor. And I lived on a twin-sized bed of poverty next door to statistics that stated that black boys like me and my brothers would be dead or in prison by the age of 25. See, in the beginning, my mama used to tell me, life ain't easy, so don't give up when times get hard. Just cry yourself a river, but don't you drown. Just build yourself a boat and flow to the end. In the third grade, my teacher asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and my response was, alive. Because by that time, I had seen more black boys die than I was able to digest. Had seen more Brendas with babies than Tupac had rapped about. Baby bumps on babies who were still being breastfed themselves. From the front porch, I watched my brothers as teenagers sell crack rocks to people who were twice their age. See, my mother, she struggled to keep the lights and water on, so at age 15, I joined the workforce too. And I can't say I was proud of my labor, but I did what I had to. See, my childhood was all the 30 days and 30 nights over before I could finish a cup of red Kool-Aid and a served sandwich, because by age 16, I was a father. I used to love that girl. And nowadays, we don't talk anymore. I guess she's still holding on to the fact that a baby came from inside her when she was still enjoying the days of being somebody's baby herself. That same year, I lost both of my brothers. And I haven't went to visit neither of them in 5 of the 6 years they've been gone, because it feels like every time I visit, I'm reliving their funerals all over again. And the prison sentences are the writing on their tombstones, and the jail cells and penitentiaries are their caskets and grave sites. I never told a soul, but I've been depressed ever since. By age 22, I committed suicide over 1,000 times in my mind, but I could never find the nerve to cut through a nerve. I guess I'd rather watch myself bleed through spoken words. And now I'm 25. And society has decided that as a black male, I should be dead or in prison by now. But I got news. I'm alive. And I even graduated as valedictorian from the School of Hard Knocks, and now I don't sell crack no more. I sell spoken words by the page and visit classrooms across America to enlighten the youth to better days. They said I wouldn't make it, but good Lord, I made it. I overcame those odds because I couldn't let them overcome me. So people, I took those negative energies and used them as fuel to the fire, or as paint to my canvas, and I created a career out of art. People ask me almost weekly, Chris, how did you do it? How did you overcome the odds? How were you able to create a career out of art? And I often grab my flashlight and point it to my face, and I tell them, be very afraid. Because the life of an artist can be very scary. Imagine starving while striving for success. It's no fun. And then I inform them that everyone's blueprint is completely different. See, for me, my very first step in striving for success, everyone say, believe. See, first I had to believe. I had to believe that I had the power to manifest my destiny. It's impossible to sell anything if you don't believe in it, if you're not confident in it, right? So I had to believe in myself. The second step was I had to go to the mountaintop. See, going to the mountaintop was me actually getting off the couch and laying down the yellow bricks to my yellow brick road to success. Step 3, everyone say, jump. Jump. See, my jump was the moment in my life when I had to make all the sacrifices. See, I had to jump, and the jump was a lot like jumping from a plane and not being sure if your parachute is going to work properly as planned. But I had to revert back to step 1 and believe. Step 4, everyone say, focus. See, I jumped, but I had not yet mastered the art of flying. So I jumped, and now I'm focusing. See, I had to remain conscious of how far I had came and how far I still had to go. Because the moment I began to taste prosperity, challenges began to come from every angle, pulling at my newly earned wings. Friends, ex-girlfriends, family, old habits. It was then I had to make some very important decisions. I had to ask myself, were the people and things in my life assets or liabilities? Assets, they added to my progression. Liabilities, they took away. And if the people and things in my life at that moment weren't assets, it was then that I immediately removed them from my life. See, it was then that I began to fly to my best ability. So the 4 basic steps for me to obtaining success was believing, going to the mountaintop, jumping, and focusing. But one of the most important things that has helped me be successful as an artist was knowing and understanding the importance of relationships. I've learned that relationships will take you far. Creating and building relationships with people and organizations that mattered to my progression has by far been the most essential element to my success. It's been proven. Then often it's not all about what you know, but a combination of what you know, and who knows you. And because I've created and built relationships with organizations like Thea Foundation, Wildwood Park for the Arts, the Concerts Art Festival, and Wildwood Park for the Arts, I've been able to become one of the avalanches in Little Rock's art community. I like to say that I created my career, my position in the art community. But in the process of creating, I had to figure out how my art fit into the puzzle, how it benefited the people in my community and in the world. I've been able to accomplish all the things in my career as an artist, not just because I'm good at it, but because I made art my life and not just a hobby. Lastly, and I'm done, I need everyone to say this. Everyone say, dreams are greater than fear. Dreams are greater than fear. The biggest killer in the world is not tobacco, cancer, or wars, but fear. And dreams are dying daily. By show of hands, how many of you have ever made the statement, I hate my job? All right, quite a few. How many of you have ever asked yourself, why am I in college? How many of you have ever been told that you couldn't do it? How many of you actually believed it? Well, I'd like to tell you, you are not alone. See, we all want to be successful. We're just unsure of how to complete the drawing. Society tells us what success is, while fear blocks us from doing the things that we love most. See, American culture tells us to go to college, get a career, and live happily ever after. Meanwhile, we become comfortable with our 9-to-5s instead of creating our own ships and becoming the captains of our own destinies. See, we give our all to build someone's Starbucks, a marketing firm, but give nothing to build our own empires. See, we tell ourselves, I want to chase my dreams, just not right now. See, I want to chase my dreams, but I don't want to make any sacrifices. I don't want to trade in my king-size bed for the backseat of my Buick, or to use these cold streets as my bed sheets, or to trade in my iPad for a pen and pad. See, I want to chase my dreams, but for now, I think I'll keep stretching. Don't think I'm in shape enough to climb this ladder to success. See, we tell ourselves, I want to chase my dreams, it's just not right now. See, I want to pursue my happiness like Christopher Gardner, but I don't think I can manage the hunger pains or having to explain to my children, or we can't go back to our home. See, we want to chase our dreams, just not right now. See, we're afraid that we may prove ourselves wrong, afraid that we are powerful beyond measure, afraid to beat these obstacles and odds against us. See, we all want our bank accounts to be filled with funds like Steve Jobs, but we're too afraid to take life's lemons and make apples. In other words, we're too confined mentally by society to be millionaires. We tell ourselves, I want to chase my dreams, just not right now. Maybe next year or the year after. I'll wait till I finish this degree. I'll wait till I bought a home. I'll wait for God to call my cell phone or to send me a Facebook notification. I'll wait for these bushes to start talking to me. I'll wait for something supernatural to happen. And all while we are waiting for this right time, time is passing us up. Feathers are falling from the wings of our potential. Our dreams are drifting away with the wind like ashes because we are too afraid to pursue them. While our destinies are staring us in the face screaming, "Come on!" And we stand there like concrete is in the soles of our shoes. What are we waiting on? What are you waiting on? Everyone ask themselves aloud, say, what am I waiting on? That's a very good question that only you can answer. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Give it up again, please. So you and I have some common experiences. Been in the valley and had to go to the mountaintop, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I know when I was in that place where I was using those cold streets as my bed sheets, as you said. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Been in that place, slept in the back of that Buick, but it was a Ford Taurus that my parents had given me. My wife can tell you about that. When we met, that's where I was.
Yeah.
So when I was in that place, there were certain people that, and there was a need to look ahead, right? To look to the mountaintop, to look to certain people. You mentioned Chris Gardner, or toward a different vision. Who were those people, if there were those people for you, and what did that vision look like for you?
For me, man, like I spoke about in the beginning of the poem, I came from a lot of negative energies in my life. So it was really a mind thing. Like, am I supposed to, go beyond where I came from, which was poverty, the ghetto, being raised by a single mother. So all those negative energies were pulling at me, but I knew that that's not where I was supposed to be. Losing my brothers to 25 and 40 years in prison, it plays a big mind trick on you. Like man, that's not where I'm supposed to be. So that was really that defining moment, for me.
So we're both men of responsibility. We both accept that we made choices, good ones and bad ones, and those choices led us to where we were. And a lot of times the choices we make are the result of training. Training from those experiences, from the neighborhoods we come from, or the people that we're influenced by. And sometimes those can be very difficult things to overcome because we don't have maybe the better role model, the better example to counter that. Where did you find that training? Or was there anyone that you looked to in particular, a mentor or advisor you had in your life that put an arm around you, or jerked a knot in your head, as my dad would say, and said, "Hey, there's a better way for you to give you that new perspective"?
Yeah, I would say it was a couple different people who were those people. First, it was 7th grade. My teacher, Miss Pilar Murphy, my 7th grade science teacher, and I used to finish my work quickly, and then I would start writing poetry. So instead of getting on to me after, when she caught me, she would actually read my poetry and actually encourage me, like, "Hey, it was good." So I kept writing. When I became an adult, I actually found people right here in the Little Rock art community who really inspired me. A group called Foreign Tongues, which is a group of national poets. Ron Mack, true poet, Stacy McAdoo.
I think I met Ron earlier.
Yeah, Ron Mack, the amazing Ron Mack. So all these people took me under their wing and really encouraged me to continue what I was doing as a writer and as a poet. And now I'm here.
So what's the next mountaintop for you? What are you when you look at your life right now and you look 5 years, 10 years down the road, what's that vision look like?
I'm creating it, man. I'm creating it right now, but I know it will be it will consist of art and using my art to impact people all across the world. So right now we're making I would say that I'm making a huge impact in the art community right here in Little Rock and in Arkansas. But in the next 5, 10 years, it'll definitely